Gigi Patsy is a British online adult content creator and call girl who brings unapologetic clarity and vibrant perspective to conversations about sex work and sexuality. Her work has earned acclaim, including being recognised by Paddle Magazine in 2024 as their winner and garnered nominations at the Snap Awards 2024 and 2025. As a writer and content creator, she's known for weaving candour with confidence, opening fearless dialogues around intimacy that break through shame and convention. Gigi is recognised as being extremely kind and compassionate when it comes to her clients, with a passion for mental health and how intimacy is about far more than just sex. She's recently spoken about taking clients' virginities, helping them find sexual confidence, and generally helping them mentally when they're having a bad time. What a nice person you are. Thank you so much for joining today. You're very, very kind. You look awesome. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know you a tiny bit. I wanted to start by taking you back, not very far, just a little bit, to when you were a teenager. Maybe were you always the most confident girl in school? You knew what you wanted, how to get it. Would the teenage you recognize who you are today?
Um, I I don't think she'd be surprised, but I don't think it would have been that. I wouldn't have picked it. It wouldn't be top of the list, but I don't think if I told my 14-year-old self, I would probably be like, fair enough. I was. It sounds big-headed to say, but yeah, I was fairly popular at school. But it wasn't because I was an attractive girl. All my friends were the short, skinny, pretty girls. I was taller than all the female teachers when I left primary school.
Wow.
I have the same size feet now as I did when I was 10. So I grew really quick. And as you can imagine, I was a lot taller than all the boys at school. And I was like one of the lads. But I think that helped me develop a good sense of humour and charisma. And I think that's why people liked me, because I was just funny. And then as I got older, I feel like I kind of grew into my features a bit better. But yeah, I was big, I was curvy, and yeah, potentially wasn't the first choice for people when they were looking to date at school, because I don't think I had a boyfriend until I was 19. Yeah. I did everything else before it, but I just didn't have the boyfriend.
So you sound like you learned to be very confident in your body, in your sexuality at quite a young age.
Yeah, I think obviously there's times where I learnt more stuff as I got older, obviously, but
Yeah.
I feel like I wasn't confident, but I pretended to be. So fake it until you make it.
Yeah.
Like I could go up and talk to anyone, and if I fancied them, I'd give it a good crack for it. But I didn't take, because I'd had kind of rejection early on. I was just like, well, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They say no, I move on. I always got the invite to the party because they wanted me there because I was fun, but I'd never really crack on with any of them. They'd be like, "Oh, can you get your friend over?" I'm like, "Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Where's your drink? So I'll just go drink that."
Yeah. And was your family life okay? Was it a lot of confidence in the family? Were you supported at school and in career choices and stuff?
My family were fairly I think it was more my dad.
Hmm.
My dad was fairly liberal. I found out as an adult that he was a bit of a prolific swinger, which makes sense because now it makes sense of potentially where I got it from. They say it runs in the family. My mum is a bit more conservative, but my dad passed away when I was a teenager. So I think had he been around, I might have been a little bit more confident with certain things at a younger age.
Yeah.
Because I was left with the parent that was more conservative. So then it kind of maybe got repressed a little bit until I was in my 20s about being proud about saying it, potentially. Yeah.
And what were the first steps into the industry, sort of adult industry? Was it very gentle steps, or did you dive in head first, or how did it come about?
I became single at about 26, 27. And before that, I was very much like, I was in a relationship with a man from 19 to 26. Not the same person, but I'd had like 6 months.
Yeah.
So I was just in relationships, and it was just very like standard relationships. And then I kind of was just like, I just don't feel like this is enough. So then I started going to a lot of swinging parties, and then I would meet people who went to swinging parties who did this work. I'd always had interest in it, but again, because I was always like, I had a bit of ugly duckling syndrome. Like, I'd got better looking, but in my head, I was just like, well, you're pretty bang average or a bit below average. Like, so I just never really, I didn't care about trying my arm at it, but I never actually felt like attractive.
Yeah.
So I just always thought, well, who's going to pay for that? But then going to the parties made me realize that I'm not unattractive because I always got attention. And I think it helped the fact that I was a bisexual single female. So I could literally join any group at the parties. And I did. So yeah, I was doing that, and then I met someone who escorted and cammed, and I got talking to her, and she kind of was just like, oh, just give camming a go. Like, give it a go. Like, if you don't like it, you just shut the laptop. That's like literally the easiest way into it, because if you're not enjoying it, someone says something horrible, you can just boot them off their chat, shut the laptop, never log in again. Like, your safety is not kind of compromised.
Yeah.
So, like, other than someone like recognizing your face potentially, but for me that didn't really bother me because I didn't really care if anyone knew that I went to sex parties. So, like, in my head, what's the difference between camming and going to sex parties? Camming's actually not as bad in my head. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not like,
absolutely,
like for like safety wise and stuff like that. So yeah, I did that, and then a week later I did my first escort, and yeah, it's been fun, and for the most part, like, in my head, is easy.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer filming, so making a film, a porn film, or do you prefer being with a client, which is enjoyable?
So I would say actual filming is fun, but that's not what gets you the money. Like, obviously, sometimes if you're on a paid shoot, then yeah, but if you're doing this as a job, you have to organize filming it. You've got to do all those social media to like build your platform. You've got to actually go film it, edit it, upload it. The month later, you get paid. So for someone whose patience isn't very good, I actually like the filming days, and I actually like editing because that's what I went to college and uni to do. But the fact that it's just like quite long-winded, and I don't like the social media bit. Like, I find it hard.
Yeah.
But I've got a Gen Z boyfriend, so he helps me. It makes it easier.
And is the escort work primarily through a sort of online platform, and it's much easier to organise, and it's a case of they come to you and
there's like bits of everyone's job that they're obviously not gonna like, and the bits that they do like. So It's on website, so I'll put your advert up on the website. Obviously, the new like laws coming in just made that a little bit harder, but
Yeah.
advert on a website. They'll message you, and then you'll work out what service they want, when they want it. I make them pay a deposit because I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah.
And then when they actually come over, so the bit before that, like texting them, I don't actually enjoy because I'm like, well, this potentially could be wasting my time because you could not actually come.
Yeah.
But when they come over, for the most part, that's my favourite bit. Like I over everything like camming, which I don't do anymore because I really don't. And even to do FaceTimes with people, I end up charging probably the same or more money than I would as if you came to see me.
Mhm.
And someone said that's ridiculous. That's far too expensive. You're not even seeing me. I was like, yeah, but I find it easier. Like someone in front of me,
Yeah.
I find it easier to want to do it.
Mhm.
Whereas a webcam, I'm just like, oh. Because people say, when are you ready? Like, you ready to do a FaceTime? I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Literally
you can't get your head around it. Yeah.
looking all done up, and I'm like, I'll do it in a half an hour. And then I'm dreading it for the half an hour. I should have just said I'm ready to do it, but I don't actually. If I know them, it's easier, but
Mhm.
most of the time you don't. And most of the time, once I do it, I'm like, that was fine.
Yeah,
The
it's
thought,
just
it's the
anticipation,
thought
isn't
of
it?
doing it.
Yeah.
It's because I find it difficult when someone doesn't talk back.
Mhm.
So, like, if someone wants me, for example, you'll get a really shy man come in, and they're like, "Oh, just dirty talk to me," and then I'm like, "How? What? Like, what?
Right.
What's
Yes.
what's the theme? Like,
Yeah.
'cause I can talk someone's ear off generally. When it comes to like doing something like that, I'm like, oh, well, if you're not going to help me, you might think I sound silly."
Well, and a certain and I talked to somebody about it before, and they said something not dissimilar. And they said that the challenge is that some people like certain things, some people don't like certain words, some people don't like certain situations. You end up sort of, gosh, am I insulting you? Is that what you want? Do you want me to do you want me to demean you? Do you want me to say how amazing you are? What words do you want me to use? And it's
Yeah,
unless you're getting a bit of feedback, it's
this
that
is it.
conversation. You don't have to stand there and talk and talk and talk, and somebody's like, okay, now that was a great date. I just talked at you for an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when someone says, "Oh yeah, no, just whatever, I'm into anything," so and then I end up rebuttaling it with like, "Oh okay," and then say something like that I know that is more niche, and like,
Mhm.
"Oh no, I'm not into that." I'm like, right, well, be more specific then, mate, because I'm not a
Yes.
mind reader.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, so I just end up
So
like taking the piss out of them quite a lot of the time.
So when you're having an encounter with a client, maybe say you're meeting somebody for the first time, are you playing a role? Because I guess there must be some people that come see you that you wouldn't naturally be attracted to in the everyday life.
uh,
So how do you? And they're paying you for a service. They want an experience. They're expecting something. How do you? Is it like acting in a way? You're playing a character and you're doing this thing, and then when it finishes, it's finished, and on to the next thing.
I think when say so, what my usual client would be like girlfriend experience, maybe porn
Mhm.
star experience, but it's still me. I
Yeah.
do role plays and I do dom, and I'm okay with them, but it's something that I'm like, right, I need to actually think about what I'm doing. Whereas girlfriend and porn star is just easy because it's just me with slightly different potentially boundaries,
Yeah.
and slightly I to be honest, if a client asks me questions, as long as they're not piss me off, I usually will be quite truthful. I say I'm
Mhm.
not gonna give them my mother's maiden name and like stuff like that, but I can't remember the lies, so it's like what
Yes.
like it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not hiding anything. If someone says like I've had a client before who's like, "Oh, I know your name," and I'm like, "So." Like really, at the end of the day, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Like, but I think it's a power thing for some men because they want to like. There's some I'm not saying a lot of men, but there are some men who come see you who are like, well, I'm paying for you, so you're
Yeah.
beneath me, and
Yeah.
they're like, they find out bits of information about you because they want to like let you know that, like, oh, I know this about you, and they kind of like expect me. I don't give a fuck, mate. But the thing is, there's going to be some girls that do. It's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I still had my old job, someone found out where I used to work, and I was like, so. But it wasn't a nice feeling because I was like, why have you gone to the effort of that?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh no, just stumbled across it. I was like, bullshit, you stumbled across it. There's no way you stumbled across an estate agent's meet the team page, because that's what you sent me. You just was like, oh, found you. I was like, how long did that take you? But yeah, it's just a bit creepy. I can't actually remember what you asked me.
No, I think you answered in terms of that you're not. You're not playing a character. You're being yourself, and it's either a dialed up version of yourself or a dialed down version of yourself.
If I didn't find them attractive, yeah. So what I usually say to people, and this is true, as I get asked it all the time, like, well, what if you don't actually like? What if they're fucking like horrible looking? I'm like, as long as they come in with a good attitude and they're respectful, and they'll come in, they'll pay me, they'll get in the shower and they'll come out, and that whole routine could take between 2 minutes and 10 minutes depending on how long they take. But while they're showering and stuff, they leave the ensuite door open, so I'm normally trying to talk to them, and I'll try to pull some kind of rapport out of them, of something we can find in common. And once I have even like the tiniest bit of like, right, he respects me, then I can do it. It's when they come in with a stinking attitude. He could be the best looking guy ever, but if they come in with attitude, then that's when I find certain parts of my job difficult. Like, it's just there's certain things that I can't do as well.
It's probably the one experience where a lot of times, if we go to the dentist or we go to the optician or accountant, whatever, we're paying for their time and we're spending time for their experience. I think sometimes in your industry, I guess people think they're buying you as opposed to buying your time. It's quite different.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, and that's why when some people will text me, like I have messages most evenings, and they're like, "Oh, are you working?" I'm like, "No, I've taken the booking today and fully booked or whatever." Like, "Oh, have you not got time to do one more?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm tired." They're like, "Oh, I won't be long." I'm like, "But no, because I know that I'm not the cheapest, and I want people to know that I've put. If I can't give you 80%, I'm not going to take the booking."
Yeah.
Because it's not fair to me to ruin my reputation, but it's also not fair to you to walk away and go, I think I wasted my money. I'm guaranteed there will be some guys that have said that about me.
Yeah.
But that's probably because they pissed me off at some point. Because once you've pissed me off, you ain't getting much from me. But this is it. Like, I said to people, I was like, you're coming round and you're wanting to put a piece of your body inside me. I'm taking on your energy. So I need to respect that. I don't think I don't think some men would think of it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like every single person that comes through the door, I have to take on their energy, and then that's sat with me at the end of the day. So there are going to be times where I'm like, no, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah, I do think of it in a similar vein to being a therapist in a way. But like I say, there's the extra part where the bodies are literally being connected, as opposed to, because a therapist takes on lots of the clients' troubles and thoughts, whatever, and you are in lots of ways doing that physically, because no matter what the dynamic is, that the feelings, thoughts, emotions a person has when they're in your presence, you're going to connect with them. And then when you're being physically intimate with somebody, even more so, and they can leave and step away and think, oh God, I've released that tension, anxiety, anger, whatever I was feeling, and you're you're left with it.
Because
So yeah,
they say like a problem shares a problem half, but your half is with me.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's like if I've got a friend and I want to vent, I usually say, "Have you got space for me to vent today? Because I need to." Whereas some friends will just ring you and start venting. And I'm like, "Mate, I'm not okay today.
yeah.
I can't deal with your shit."
Mm.
But yeah,
How do you sort of decompress afterwards? Then do you have a routine? What is it that think you sort of, okay, I'm not washing it away, but sort of how do you sort of cleanse the negative energy they might bring with them?
like even when I go on tour, I have like a mini version of this. But I give you the example for like when I'm in my house.
Hmm.
So in the morning, if I'm working, I will take my pillows off the bed. I will put it's like almost like an incontinent sheet, but it's like it feels like cotton on the top, but it's got like a plastic bottom.
Yep.
I put that all over my bed, took it all in, then I put a nice fluffy blanket on top of it, and then I put, it's here actually, this really long like king size pillow at the back, and then some nice cushions on it. So then that is now my work bed, because at the minute I'm in my spare room in the minute, but it's a wardrobe and dressing room.
I can see a lot of shoes, a lot of handbags. Yeah.
We're actually going through the handbags at the minute. That's what I'm missing. But then I'll do like a nice little spritz in there, and then I say to Alexa, she's in here, so I don't want to kick her off. I'll tell her workroom on, and then all the lights change, the music turns on, the clock on my Alexa comes on, so I know all the time and everything. And so that's Gigi's room then. Then when I finish, I'll say her name. I've finished work. All the lights turn off. Just my side lights stay on. The AC turns off. The music stops. And she says, "You deserve a well-earned break," which I'm like, I do. And then I take the sheets off and I put my pillows back on, and then I spray it with a different smell. And then after I finish work, I will not stay in that room. I'll take the client out, do that to my bedroom, and I have to go sit in another room.
Yeah.
For might only be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I need to switch my brain off, especially if someone's annoyed me. I'm making it sound like people annoy me all the time. They don't, but it needs to be done more so had someone irked me. And then I'll like little incense. And then that kind of cleans it out. And if it's not terrible weather, I'll open a window as well, just to kind of like freshen it out and change it. And the reason I put the waterproof sheet on is not because I'm doing like lots of like sploshing or anything like that. It's because I don't want whether it to be calm or just even sweat. Like I used to take issue with, I used to get the waterproof sheet and I used to tuck it behind my pillows, and they would always pull the pillow out and put the head on it, and then I was like, I can't sleep on the pillow now, even if they were a person. It's because I'm like, but in my head I'm like, how dare you do that? But that's because in my head that's how I change, but they don't know that. So then I'd be like, touch my pillow. And then I would be like, you're being unreasonable. And this is all going on in my head while the head's on my pillow. And I'm just like, it's on my pillow, you need to calm down. But for me, that's how I change my room. But I can't be angry at them because that's how they're meant to know. But yeah, that's how I kind of end work. But when I move and when I have Gigi's room and then my room, so then I can just shut the door. So it's less of a like hassle.
I like that. It like sounds almost the routine of doing all that just gets your mind into a different place, really. But having a routine, the sort of starting routine, okay, I'm building up to it. Now this is what it is. We're finished. Now we're taking that all down again, and we're coming back to it. So yeah, I think having a routine in lots, whichever, whether you're coming home from work on the tube, you're trying to decompress, or you're driving home from work with loud music, whatever it is, you want some gap between work and
the
not work.
lights change. So when it's Gigi, they're pink lights, and then when it's my room, they're just like warm, normal lights. So it looks different, It feels different and it smells different.
Mm.
And it's having that and then
Mhm.
walking out the room, having a shower or whatever, and then
Yeah.
walking back into it. I can
Mm.
feel the energy is different, and that's how
Mhm.
I've kind of worked it out. Obviously, it took me a while to kind of work out that I needed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that helps me turn
Mm.
off my work brain.
Mm. Why do you think we still have stereotypes around sex work, and that it's not seen as a standard career, or it's not seen as being the right thing to do, it's seen as a negative thing? Why do you think that still is?
I think that over the years, the British have been very like prudy,
Mhm.
and it's seen as something that people have resorted to because of like an issue they've had. So maybe they're homeless and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's how they've been portrayed in movies, and
Mhm.
like someone who's addicted to drugs will then have to do that because that's the only skill that she's got. And it's always a woman, it's never a man. If a man does it, it's empowering. And
Yes.
and if it's a woman, then she's obviously got no skills other than like I have a story from when I went to go get my ADHD prescription, and he said, "Oh, we spoke to this about," because I didn't say I escorted, I said I did porn, because
Mhm.
that doesn't get as bad of a reaction. And someone was like, "Well, you shouldn't have told them what you did." I was like, "Well, I'm not fucking embarrassed about it. Why should I have to lie?" Um, and he was like, "Oh, I spoke about this with my colleagues, and I am going to give you the prescription, but they said I shouldn't." And I went, "Why?" And I thought he was getting at that. I was like, cracky status. Don't know how else to say it. I think he thought that I was doing it because it's a controlled drug and I was trying to abuse it. And I kind of alerted to that, and he went, "Oh, no, 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 no. But it's not like you need to concentrate in your job, is it?"
What?
I was fighting back tears the entire. I just shut down. I stopped talking. I went, "Right, can we hurry this up now?" He was like, "No, I didn't mean it like that." I went, "Well, you're still talking about it now." And then we had the phone number because I had to keep sending my blood pressure readings because it affects like your heart rate.
Yeah.
And I sent him a long message that my friend took the afternoon off from work to write for me, bless her. And she was like, "You have to organise, like, when people come over, you've got to organise your diary, you've got to organise your travel, you've got to, like, organise your website, your shoots, all of this. He can go fuck himself." I was like, "Yeah." As soon as I got in the car, I started crying because I was just like, he probably wouldn't have said that if I was unemployed. He would have just given me it.
No.
And whether that's your opinion or not, it was like, "Oh, but that's what they were saying. I don't agree." I was like, "Well, if you don't agree, you wouldn't have fucking said it because you just want this like hero complex, like, oh, they said it, but I'm gonna give you it anyway because I'm a good person." And then he messaged me, and I like I said to him, like you're wrong and all of this, and he was like, "Oh, well, I was just passing it on. I just thought you should know." I went, "Why should I know?" So then I rang the Daily Mail and got the news, put it in the newspaper.
I was going to ask about that. I had seen the story in the Daily Mail when I
Yeah.
did some research into you, and you've been featured in the mainstream press. And for people listening in America, the Daily Mail is it's a very middle class, white, slightly right wing newspaper, and it is
Right.
very negative towards anybody that might be seen as having a different lifestyle. I guess is the best way of putting it. But you always come across very well when I've ever read about you in the press. What
Unless you're reading the comments.
that's what I was going to say. What feedback do you typically get? And I guess this is from Daily Mail readers. So I guess it's not necessarily going to be
Well, I've
the
been
most liberal of you can
Star,
imagine.
which is similar.
Hmm.
The Sun,
Yeah.
who misquoted me in the story, is not half of it's not true. I did get interviewed and had a photo shoot for the Guardian, but it never went ahead. I'm absolutely fuming because I thought I was going to be in the Guardian. But I did go into the Daily Mail science section, which I didn't see either. But the comments generally are that I don't pay tax, But I mean, why would I go in all the newspapers if I was
I was going to say,
I,
surely you wouldn't actually advertise anything then, would you? For
a
goodness, you
real
wouldn't
dumb
promote yourself at
girl?
all.
But that's what they think. So I
Yeah.
don't pay tax. I'm a drain on the NHS because I'm riddled with STDs or STIs, wherever you're from. That I'm just stupid. That I lie that I was a sales director before. Because why would I give up that job to do this job? And I could just show you my bank account, and it's gone up tremendously. That's why. But they don't realise that. And then just shit, tattoos is usually another one. Oh, and I get called fat at least once a day.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
That's nice. It's very
If
odd.
I posted. If I've not posted, I might get a day off. I got called a paedophile yesterday. I'm still waiting to find out why.
It's funny, isn't it? Because there are other content creators that talk about making content or having sex with people that are, and I think they use the words intentionally when they sort of say barely legal, which basically means legal. So they're over 18. So that's
barely legal.
there is a cutoff. There's a cutoff, and it is 18.
Yeah.
If you're 17 and 364 days, it's illegal. If you're 18 in one day, well, that's it. If you're 18 or you're 20 or you're 25 or you're 50, there's no range.
No.
That's what it is really. And
But also, if you weren't filming, I think it's 16 in this country.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Yeah.
It is.
But like, I've asked people for ID before when they've come over if they look young. And for the most part, they're like 23, and I'm like, you're just got a baby face. But yeah, no, I if I'm not sure, I will like it. But yeah, but I think you're like talking about Bonnie when you were saying the belly. Do you know she's only 25?
She
looks older, but
yes,
she looks
older than you. Yeah,
skin's amazing, but she dresses and portrays herself as someone who's more mature in their 30s, maybe, or late.
Yeah,
but she is 25. So, but she wants you to not think that. She doesn't advertise her age.
Yeah,
like she doesn't lie about it, but she doesn't advertise her age because she wants the hate. Because
so it was the notoriety that sells, isn't it? I mean, she does. You talked about social media being a pain before. She does either have a very, very good team, or her, Lily Phillips, a few others. They've really grabbed hold of something that people want to be morally outraged by, but it works. She's
obviously
rolling. She's bringing the money in. She can quit next year, and she's set up, and that's it. And it's
absolutely
very intelligent. I have no issues with it whatsoever. It's whatever she's doing is legal.
Yeah,
and that's it really.
Lots of people that film with Bonnie.
And
she's very smart, and I think whether you like her or don't, you're still talking about her.
Yeah.
I mean, so she's doing something right, and if she can deal with the hate, because a lot of people can't, then fair play. And I just think there's some days that I can deal with reading like a death threat or someone commenting on like what I look like, and stuff like that. And there's some days that I can't. And now I've learned that when I'm not feeling 100%, might not read the comments.
Yeah.
It's easy. You just don't.
It is now. That's one of the big. Yeah, that's one of the big challenges we have now, is that it's very, very easy to comment on whether it be a footballer, whether it be a call girl, whether it be an actress, whether it be anybody. You can just hide behind your keyboard and type the most vile and horrendous things you hopefully wouldn't ever say to the person's face. Whereas 20 years ago we didn't have that ability. We couldn't do that.
No.
Whereas now it just feels that, oh well, that's just online. It doesn't really count. Almost as that screen between us. Therefore, I can say these horrific things about you and your family and your pets and everything else, and it's not going to hurt you, but it does.
A lot of people have these fake accounts because that's just their trolling account. They won't admit that that's what it's for. They'll be like, oh, it's just, it's to follow people that I don't want my wife to see.
That's rubbish.
But my friend actually got it. She's not in the industry. She was about something else, but she was in the paper for something. And her husband got in. Like, a lot of people were like being very, very like personal and rude. And I said, just please, just don't read it, because like
Yeah.
she's not never had something like that before, but she is, because they were attacking her husband as well, and he didn't necessarily consent to like put himself in the public domain like that. And I said, well, it's funny how I've got to age verify, and people who want to see my content have got to age verify. And I understand that that is harmful for people who aren't 18. But what is there to say that why are we able to make social media platforms that have no accountability for who I am? So I could be doing something, I don't know, I could be promoting suicide or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't have to tell anyone who I am. And I've had people telling me to like myself, like, and imagine if I did, they'd be like, oh well, that was just words, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But you could have been the final straw, and they probably wouldn't even care, or wouldn't even realize that they'd done that, because it was just words. And when I report things on my page, I'm like, I get reported because I've got half a left arse cheek hanging out and I'll lose my account. But Scouse Boy 6969 could tell me to go myself, and I report it, and then the platform will say, oh well, we didn't see anything that was worth like the report. I'm like, how's that fair?
We just have such hang up over our bodies and sexuality, and whether that's from religion or from society or whatever. Because you'll go and watch a film at the cinema, a regular film, and there might be 100 killings in a John Wick film or whatever. But everybody will watch that film very happily. But in that same film, you can't have a topless woman or a full frontal guy or whatever. Because I know that, gosh, that would be an 18 plus certificate. I think, my goodness, really?
Yeah.
Literally showing a guy's cock, a woman's pussy, and or an arse or a nipple or whatever.
Oh, you're allowed to show
Isn't it?
nipple, a female's nipples, completely different ballgame.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. I mean, ultimately it's a nipple on adipose fat, and it's used to feed children, and that's what it's for, really. Yes, it's sexy, and absolutely, many women it is, but goodness,
most people have what we've got. Do you know what I mean?
And it's not. This is it. It's not like you're going to see something you haven't seen before. So I do think we are very, but a lot of the US is like this as well. We are very, very hung up on the human body.
Trump's trying to ban porn at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, which is quite weird, really. But it's funny. So when they brought in the age verification in the UK, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, the biggest downloaded apps were free VPN things. So literally, you download a VPN, send it to America, and you straight away again.
Oh,
so
you can.
Yeah, unless you're literally completely non-tech savvy at all. We download an app from the Apple Store, and you set your location as Canada, America, Germany, France, but anywhere else apart from the UK, and the content's just there immediately. You don't need anything.
Because I'm age verified on all the platforms. Once I'm signed in, I'm in. So I didn't really have to like test it. And also, I have a VPN that I pay for, because if I go to a hotel, it's got child lock on the router.
Yeah. Yes.
I have to use one.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult and child lock not to get around that, really. Yeah, but it's so I think anything they try and do is seems to be so silly. And one of the big issues I think they had with Pornhub and sites like that a few years ago is that they weren't verifying the age of the content providers.
No.
So I think Pornhub had to take down like 75% of its content because they couldn't verify the age of the performers.
Yeah.
And all the drop down menus that are, whatever it is, MILF or mature or 18. The whole thing with 18 is that they obviously look a lot younger than that.
Yeah, you've got 18, haven't you?
Yeah. So that's one of the issues. How do you verify the content creators as opposed to people that are watching it?
Yeah. Like, I know that because I used to upload trailers and stuff to Pornhub, and then it just got harder, so I stopped because it was a trailer. It was never going to make money on it.
Yeah.
It was mainly for like exposure.
Mhm.
So now I'm just tagged in stuff on Pornhub rather than uploading because I haven't got round to being bothered to do it.
Hmm.
But yeah, it is harder, but I don't mind, you know, upload because I have release forms for everyone. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
And I think that you should have, if you're going to, because the thing is, if someone posts me, I would want them to have my release form. And if they don't, it means that
Yeah.
they shouldn't be selling my content. So it just protects me in a way.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea. I think. I mean, and you're not going to get you're not going to find a way around it. I think what is more important is to have good sex education at a relatively young age. And I don't mean just here's how to put a condom on a banana and here's you don't get an STI and that's about it. I think having proper
Yeah.
sex education, explaining intimacy, explaining
And
kink at an appropriate age, just talk about it. I think then when things are talked about, it becomes a lot less. It's like having your first drink. Once you've had it, it's like, oh, was that it? It's
yeah.
not that exciting. Or having your first cigarette, it was like, remember when I first smoked, it was like, oh, wow, I thought it'd be wasn't quite as exciting as I thought it would be. And the same with porn. But if you suddenly stumble across it and you use that as your education,
Yeah.
most of porn, most of porn isn't typically the sexual experience you're going to have when you have sex with
No.
someone. Not most men don't have 8-inch cocks that stay hard for sort of 4 or 5 hours. Most women aren't necessarily desperate to have 2 or 3 men in the room at the same time and all completely hairless and all can deep throat, etc. That's not typical really. But if you watch that and think that's what standard life is,
Yeah, you're going to be disappointed.
you are, yeah. And it's going to be very uncomfortable for your partner.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I can tell that, especially when it comes to younger lads who see me, I can
Hmm.
tell the ones who watch a lot of porn. And I'll say to them, I'm like, do you think I like that? And they're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, you think you're on set? Like, what are you doing? Like, because like some people will, again, if they've come in with like this attitude of like, they'll try to put their hand around my throat and start spanking me, I'll just go,
Yeah.
you've not asked me if I want to do that. And they go, oh, well, I just assume. Well, you shouldn't just assume. You should ask me. And I will always say that, even if I would enjoy it, if I feel like they've not thought about it, especially when it comes
Yeah.
to the younger lads,
Hmm.
I'll make sure, because I would hate for them to have this like porn star experience with me and then to go on to an 18-year-old girl that sees them next and she has to
Yeah. Yeah.
pretend like she likes something that she doesn't, because I know when I was 18 I definitely wouldn't have said as much as I would say now, and I don't want them, I'm not just saying it's just boys, but obviously they're the ones who come to see me, so I can only really comment on that. But I don't want them to go and think that this is a normal thing that they should expect
Yeah.
girls to do, because it's not real life.
Yeah. No, and I've friends that date relatively young compared to themselves, and they said they've noticed in the last few years a lot more people just expect sort of choking and spanking, and it just as part of the norm. And I remember this girl, sort of woman, sort of said to the guy, "What are you doing? What are you?" And she's old enough to sort of know to say, "What the hell are you doing?" Oh, I thought everybody liked being choked. Would you like it?
Yeah, you
I
should.
might like it, but let's talk about it. And that's why I think people get really confused about kink and BDSM in lots of ways. 'Cause I think the one thing that kink and BDSM has, I think, would be helpful to everybody, is there's lots of discussion about this is a yes, this is a no, this is a maybe. This is what I consent to. This is my safe word, and you have discussions beforehand.
That's why I don't.
Typically, you go into sex, you just do it, and without any discussion about what somebody likes or doesn't like.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind if they went to go and go, "Is this okay?"
Yeah.
And then I would say, "I like it this way," or because even me and my boyfriend, he does it to me, and he goes, do you want it tonight like that?" Because some days I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and I used to sub to clients, and then I stopped doing it because I was like, someone was like, "Well, you're not a real sub," and I was like, "Well, you're not a dom because you're not asking what I like. You
Yes.
didn't tell
Yeah.
me that this is the kind of booking you want, even though it's
Yeah.
I do it on my profile. It does say you need to pre-book it.
Yeah.
You haven't like asked me what a safe word is, and you're not. This isn't sexy. You're just hurting me." And I just kicked him out. So I was like, "You're taking the piss. Fuck off."
Yes, I think proper DOMs typically are incredibly caring and
They
nurturing.
mentally dom you.
They, they are absolutely, and it's not about the physical pain they're causing. It's about
No.
anticipation, and it's about making somebody wait, and it's about patience. So many different things, anyway. But
Yeah.
can you tell when somebody comes to see you and it might be the first time they've had sex? Is it very obvious?
Maybe not the first time, but like I can tell when someone's like inexperienced.
Yeah.
But if it's their first time, they haven't always told me. They might have told me,
Mhm.
or I might have just had a suspicion. But um, they usually tell me if it's their first time. But you can tell when someone's not got a whole lot of experience doing certain things because, like I said, like some of the virgins have been ones who are like very like they've taken everything that they're putting into practice from porn,
Yeah.
and you can tell. And it's like I remember saying to someone like, "What are you doing? You know, we're just maneuvering like I'm a leg of lamb." He was
It's like, yeah, massage here for like 10 seconds and move down and do this for 10
he
seconds
was
and then
just like
yeah.
he was had his whole weight put like because he was on top of me and he has his whole weight on my ribs and he was just like maneuvering me, and then instead of saying, "Oh, let's change positions," he would just
Mm,
like move me, and I'm just like, "Get the fuck off me!" Like, I know you're paying for it, but I also
mm,
am a person. I'm not a sex robot
yeah.
who's just like hasn't got any feelings. Like, yeah, I was just like, no, like treat me like a human, or you can fuck off.
Yeah, because then I mean, then you're going to make it a much more enjoyable, memorable experience, really.
I say
Uh,
to them, I was like, if you are respectful and treat me like a real person that you would talk to like day to day, you'll get a lot more from me. If you treat me like the way you're treating me now, I shut
yeah,
down, and I'm not gonna even if like you like because I don't like people touching my hair. But if someone just kind of moves it, I won't. But if I say, "Oh, I don't like someone touching my hair," and they even touch me, I'd slap the hand away. Like you, like I will. I'll shut down,
yeah,
and
yeah,
not you're not going to enjoy that experience because you've wound me up. So I think I've had some of the best bookings ever where I've just come away from it and I'm just like, that was so lovely. I had the best time ever. And it doesn't matter what they look like or what we did or anything. I'm just like, that was so much fun. I laughed so much and stuff like that. And then there's some times where I'm just like, oh, I need to scream into a pillow.
yeah.
Yeah.
How does it feel when you get nominated for and you win awards? Do you like the validation? Do you get embarrassed or?
Um, the 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 Snap ones were funny because I got nominated last year for newcomer,
Mhm.
and I was really excited, and I'd never even been to the awards before, and I was like, oh, it's the first year I've done it, and I've been nominated. It was amazing, and I was like, I'm not gonna win, but I might win. And then this year, I got nominated, but I was against some really, really low. It was more of a big boy award. It wasn't like newcomer or anything. And I was like, all my friends came to the second one, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna win! You're gonna win!" I was like, "I'm not," and it wasn't like, "Oh no, I'm not." I was like, "I'm not gonna win," but I was just gassed because some of the people who I was up against, they'd been doing it a long time. They were like in brazzers, and I just was. I went knowing that I wasn't going to get on stage. Whereas the first time I was like, I might do, because the newcomers, like, it's anyone's
Yeah.
it, because
Mm.
you've all been doing it for the same amount of time, ish. So, but yeah, and then the Escort of the Year one, I just like, it was a magazine that I was like, don't know too much about, but it was nice to be nominated, and it was lovely to win. But yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like then the first time someone says like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm meeting you," I'm like, "Why?"
Do you get a sash to wear or a crown or anything? Or that's what I'd order my own. I'd order a crown for 100%.
Yeah. Oh
Have
well.
it in sort of pink neon lettering. Winner, Escort of the Year. How long did it take you to decide what to wear to the Snap Award ceremonies?
The first awards, I didn't wear much. It was
Okay.
basically a string dress with like diamond encrusted, like imagine Darren from Hollyoaks
Yeah.
dress, and I just put a tiny pair of pants on underneath,
Okay.
and then 6 or 7 inch heels, so that made me like 6'6". That was a look. This year, I just basically, because I was like, I'm not going to win. I'm not going to win.
Yeah.
Don't need to worry.
Gonna have a good time. Yeah.
So I wore a dress that I was meant to wear to a party that I accidentally slept through. So I didn't get to wear this last month, so I'm just going to wear it tonight, because I'd spent loads of time picking the outfit out for this party, and I woke up at like 9 p.m. I was like, well, I'm not going now. So I went back to bed. So yeah, I gave it less thought, but yeah, it was such a hot day this year. I was like, I want to see my award and then want to leave. Obviously, my award was the last one.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously. But it was so hot and sticky. I was like, I almost don't want to win, because I was like, the thought of going on stage now, because I wasn't drinking, like, not really. I had a couple, but it was too busy to even get a drink. So I wasn't like loosening up and enjoying myself. I was just like, I'm just hot and sticky, and I want to go. But if I win, I can't miss it.
No.
Because they'd be like, where is she? I'm like, she went home, she was too hot.
Yeah. Do you find do you even think there are such things as kinks now, or are you pretty unchockable now?
I mean, there's definitely like, when people come to see me, they're like, "Oh, I'm very vanilla," and they are very vanilla. Like, so I do think for someone who's not in the industry, there's people that aren't into much. Like they might like watching a certain type of porn, but even that, they're like, "Oh, well, they're just like watching anal," but like, it's not really a kink. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's something that's like very accessible, that most people might try once or something. But I think some of the things that some people do come to me, I'm just like, God, to what end? To what end are we pushing ourselves these days? So, but yeah, I feel like, because everyone's like, "Oh, I'm really embarrassed. I don't want to say. I'm not. I guarantee you, I've probably heard it before, something that you would consider worse. So you might as well cut to the chase and just tell me what you're after. So, but it doesn't mean I do them all. But I'm not going to kink shame as long as it's not illegal.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. A lot of people that do feel shame or embarrassed because they might, I don't know, a guy, especially particularly a lot of guys that have a desire to be submissive. And I talked to a dominatrix a few months ago, and she was saying a lot of the men come to her because they just feel they can't talk to their partner about it. And it's not for them. It's not about the sex. It's just about being completely submissive and giving way for an hour or so. And I think when people have that, oh, it's such a shame. But I think people sometimes think they're the only person in the world with this kink. And I guarantee there's another million people out there. Of 8 billion people, the odds on the fact that you have a kink about, I don't know, car exhaust or whatever, somebody else has that kink. Somebody else
Yeah,
has
there was
it.
a guy that married their car, wasn't there?
Well, there you go.
Yeah. No, I always say that to him. Like, I said, look, you don't know me, I don't know you. If you try it, you don't like it, you get embarrassed, block me. You never have to see me ever again.
Yeah.
So if you can't tell me, then there's like, you can't tell anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can't tell someone that you've never met before that really doesn't give a fuck, like, I give a fuck about them as a person, but I don't really give a fuck about like what they're into, as long as they're being safe and not hurting anyone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go for it. I don't see the issue. But yeah, I think when someone, especially someone who's the man of the house, the CEO, MD of company, constantly being the person who's giving orders and stuff like that, they just want to actually take a minute and not have to think.
Yeah.
And I get that because I used to love subbing, because I'm like, I don't want to have to think. I think all day. I think all day. I manage an office. I run a home. I'm constantly being the one out of our friends who's like, right, well, let's plan this, let's do that. I just want to shut my brain off. I want to be in a place that's so much that if someone asks me what my name is, I'm going to struggle to think what it is. That I want clarity.
Yeah.
And I think because I've got ADHD and I've always got this in my head, I think that was the only time when I would actually be like brain dead, like meditative, like clear thoughts, like nothing was in my brain. And I was like probably the only time that I had that. And maybe that's similar.
I think it is, and 100% it is that almost meditative state where just nothing intrudes and nothing is expected of you.
Yeah,
It's
nothing
just
matters.
what it is, really. Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you trying to think how to ask this? How do you differentiate between your personal life? So you said you have a boyfriend and that relationship, and how do you find partners respond to the work that you do? Do you tell when you met new partners, you tell them straight away? Is it something that you build up to? How do you differentiate between the two sides of your personality?
tried to date before Ryan, unsuccessfully. I tried to do it kind of more mainstream, and I would tell him straight away, because what's the point?
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's no point. Maybe my execution of how I told them might have been slightly different to test out the best way. But I was like, what's the point? Because like the thing is, when you're getting to know someone, what you do for work is usually in the beginning. It's like, I either have to lie, and then you've built a relationship on a lie. So I wasn't going to do that. But then also, you might end up wasting your time spending this like lovely time getting to know someone who could be almost like upset and like quite horrible about it, because I just kind of stopped, and I was like, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And then I had a few people that I was seeing who were like more like from swinging communities, but they just didn't pan out for whatever reason. I genuinely believe it wasn't because of my job. It was just other things. And then I met Ryan. He does the same job, so he does porn. So he gets it. He gets the work.
Yeah.
You're not doing it because you want any kind of sexual gratification. And someone asked me on my Instagram Q&A the other day, they actually said, how is it hard not to get feelings for someone you work with? I went, to be honest, I've never filmed with anyone and thought about it like being pleasurable. Like it can be, obviously, but I'm thinking, right, where's the camera? Like, where's the lighting? Like, how does my body look? Am I making enough like vocals and stuff like that? I'm not thinking about how it feels, I'm thinking about how it looks. So I only really work with people who I know is a good performer, someone who's like fun to work with, is in like the same kind of humour and banter, and someone who's got the same work ethic. Other than that, I don't really care. So for him, I know that he's the same as that. So he would just be like, work's work. I want to get in and out as quick as possible. Like if you're self-employed, you don't want to make the day longer because you're not going to get paid anymore. I just want to finish, get out, you know.
Yeah, and when I talk to people before, and they sort of explain what a day shooting is like, it's not. I mean, I don't think it's quite as glamorous or as lovely as people might think.
No, it's not.
No, unless you're filming, Gonzo and it's all the way through. But if you're filming, it's stop, start, and camera angle, do this and do that, and it's now arch your back, now do this, and move your hair. And oh my goodness, it's not. It's not like in somebody's bedroom where you're being filmed. It's like I say, it's very mechanical in a way.
Yeah, the last shoot I did, it was 5 guys, 2 girls in a car garage. So I was dirty as fuck.
Yes.
And yeah, like you said, it was 5 guys, so it's a lot of like, oh, it was up, it's down. Right, I'm gonna come now. Right, you lot move out the way. You two only like, it's acting, like, and it's like, right, you need to get this scene. You need to get this. You right. You two do this, and you two do this, and you two stand on the side because you're not ready to come yet, and it's not sexy. I'm just really good at editing to make it look it.
Would you like to direct one day?
Yeah, I did think that. I thought if I decide that I don't want to be in as much, I could open a production company and film that.
Definitely. It sounds like the way you talk it does sound very thoughtful, very professional. It's a camera angle, it's the timing, it's this, it's the lighting, it's all those things that I think a lot of people that are performing don't necessarily verbalize as well as you do. So I can really see you having that oversight of things, which I think is really important. And I think a lot of performers, they want a director that they can trust, they can work with, that somebody understands what they've been through, and isn't asking them something that's just not possible or not practical or not enjoyable. It's painful. So I think that'd be really good, actually.
Yeah.
That was going to be my last question. Actually, it was going to be about what does are you a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year planner? Do you have a view about you'll evolve through the industry? What do you think the next stage of your journey looks like?
I haven't got like an exit plan. Like I would say that I enjoy escorting more than filming at the moment, but it's because I don't like doing certain parts of the filming for the growth.
Yeah.
So I was just like, if I just keep plodding along, doing what I'm doing, still put effort into it, but I make more money escorting and I enjoy it more. And that's probably why I make more money escorting, because I enjoy it more.
Yeah, and it's more immediate, isn't it? It's not, you're not setting things up and planning and then doing and then waiting and then chasing and then all that sort of stuff.
If I feel like if I just keep doing the same kind of like effort, then it'll slowly build and build and build. And then maybe in like 5 or 10 years or something, or maybe I'll go on a show and like my friend Sylvia in America, she kind of blew up when she was in a Netflix special. So then she blew up after that. So you never know, something like that could happen, and then you can make more money online.
Yeah.
Charge more money to meet, and ultimately kind of work less. But I don't really care about being like a super famous person. I just want to be comfortable. I want to retire from this from like an earlier age, but I want to potentially have properties, nest eggs and stuff like that. I have when I started this work, I got a financial advisor, and we've been saving. He called me an aggressive earner. He's like, you can earn a lot of money in a short space of time, but you probably won't be able to do it forever.
Yeah.
Which is, you have to be kind of smart about it. And I've got critical illness and like health insurance and all of that. So if I can't work, I'm going to be okay. Because I think that's important. I think you can get all wrapped up in like buying nice handbags and going on nice holidays. And I do that stuff.
Mhm.
but from what I earn a month, I probably put over half towards the future in some way or another. So I have a nice amount of disposable income, but I don't have a stupid amount of disposable income because it's not forever.
It's not, and that's the dream, isn't it? To have the funds to live off the performance of the funds, basically, whether it be property, or it be crypto, or it be funds, or it be whatever. As long as you can live off the capital, that's the dream. Yeah, and I think putting away half your money, that's commendable for anybody in any industry if you can do that, for goodness sake. Because, like I say, your prime earning years are the next sort of decade or two, and it's like, yeah, putting the effort in now, because then when you get a little bit older, you've still got a huge amount of years ahead of you just to live life.
Yeah, and I know a lot of creators and girls who do this job who have don't do that, but they are paying off the debt that they've put themselves into
Yeah.
before this, and that
Yeah.
might have been the drive that they
Mhm.
did the job for.
Mm.
But I've seen so many people who are like, right, I've got one more credit card to pay. They might have had like 30 grand debt, and they've paid
Yeah.
it off. So even though they've not invested it, they've got themselves into a position where they can invest soon.
Yes, to get that clean slate thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm always happy to help people with stuff like that. Like I want, especially women, I don't want women to have to rely on a man to survive. So it's nice so they can do their own finances and understand it all and get themselves good credit and work safely online. So anything like that I already know, I'm always trying to help, because I just don't want to see someone in a position where they feel like they have to be with someone to survive. So you see it too many times.
You do. I think, yeah, being able to be self-sufficient and
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it's important.
I always say to a woman, you need a fuck off fund, and a
Yeah.
fuck off fund is an amount of money that if you need to leave someone that week, you can leave someone and be sufficient for the next few months. You need a fund so you can just say, I don't fucking need this.
Yeah, because so many women, sadly,
Not
are
just
trapped in
women.
relationships where they can't afford to escape. They think, well, I'm here because I've got no choice. I've got no money. I've got no. Yeah, I can't escape, and that's
Yeah,
desperately sad.
everyone needs a fuck off fund, but women especially, I think, because predominantly in history, it's always been the man who earns more money, because maybe they've had a family together, and it's
Yeah.
society's like the woman stops working or stops working as much, and then all the money's his, and they can't fuck off because they don't have a job to have that money saved. So I think you should always have something of your own. So I would like to keep this flat, even if I bought a house with someone else down the line. I want to be able to evict whoever's in here 2 months, and then I'm going back to my own house.
Yeah.
You need an exit strategy, and it's not to say that you're doing it because you don't see a future with someone. You want to stay with someone because you want to stay with them. You don't want to stay with them because you have to.
100%. Yeah, I don't think it has been a negative at all. I think it's been sensible.
Yeah.
I love the fact you've given sex advice, financial advice, safety advice. I like very multifaceted. I like that.
Yeah,
You need to write. You need to write this down, or set a course, or something. You need to, sort of share this far and wide, I think.
But some people would be like, "Oh, she does this open at legs."
Well, this is it. It's that silly preconception we have of people that do the work that you do, and it's not even of you. It's thinking, oh, well, all of them are like this. Well, actually, the vast majority of people I've talked to in the sex industry of all aspects, incredibly savvy.
Yeah.
And like I say, you've got to really, you're self-employed, you're doing this, there's all the things that a lot of us that just go to work don't. We just go to work, come home from work, and that's it.
Yeah.
You've got all these things to do as well.
My job doesn't start and it doesn't finish. Like, if I want to not pick up my work phone, I have done it before when I'm not fucking working today. I just don't look at it. But also, there are days where I feel like I don't look at my personal phone because all I'm doing is my to-do lists, which is literally all work-based. But it's just because the more I put in, the more I get from it. Whereas if I was PAYE, then you're just like, right, I finish at 6, I'm off.
And it's a bit like in the old days. If you didn't hunt, you didn't eat. If you don't work, you don't eat. Basically, as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
If you just stop today, so I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You soon get screwed over. So you've been very, very generous with your time. I've taken far more than I should have done. So thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I really enjoyed talking to you. And I can't wait for people to hear and learn more about you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.